Guess what? We're talking about the final frontier. We've come a long way since Alan Shepard sat in that Mercury capsule and blasted off for 15 minutes into space, landing successfully in the ocean. Today, we are talking about putting men and women on Mars. Well, the first steps have been taken, and of course, we're all intrigued by the Perseverance rover that is scooting around the red planet and transmitting incredible pictures. But there are challenges. Once we land on Mars, we want to come back. And to come back, we have to blast off from Mars, which requires fuel, and it also requires a lot of oxygen as an oxidizing agent. It's not possible to carry these from Earth, so there has to be some ingenious way of finding a way to produce oxygen on Mars. Well, Perseverance carried aloft an experiment. It was roughly this size. It is a box full of electronics, tubes, valves of all kinds. This is the Mars Oxygen In Situ Experiment. And that name was not randomly chosen. It was chosen to give the acronym MOXIE. Where does that come from? Back in 1876, a homeopathic physician, Augustine Thomson, designed a beverage, one of the first ever mass-marketed carbonated beverages. He called it MOXIE. He just made up this word. Why? Because it was to send a message of daring, of pluckiness, and that message got across. And indeed, he advertised this as something for the nerves. If you drink this, you'll have a lot of nerve. Well, in order to accomplish everything that needs to be accomplished on Mars, we will need a lot of nerve. So what was this instrument designed to do? The Martian atmosphere is 95% carbon dioxide. So it has oxygen in there, but it's bonded to carbon. This contraption is going to separate the carbon from the oxygen. So carbon dioxide will become carbon monoxide, and oxygen is going to be released. Obviously, this is just a prototype. The actual contraption will have to be much, much larger, something like 200 times that size. But apparently, that is a possibility. That's not the only way to produce oxygen. If we think of the space station that's orbiting the Earth right now, astronauts are living up there. Kelly lived up there for a year. Where are they getting their oxygen? Well, they're getting it from electrolysis. Let me take you back for a moment to your high school chemistry. You may recall this. You place a couple of electrodes into water. The water being an electrolyte, it can carry electric current. The water breaks down into hydrogen and oxygen, and you get the evolution of hydrogen and oxygen. This is how they are making oxygen on the space station. Now, can this possibly be done on Mars? Not likely. You would need a lot of energy to do this, and you would need an awful lot of water in order to generate enough oxygen for the trip back to Earth. But it's a possibility. And maybe we will make it there. Maybe Mars is a possibility. NASA is talking about maybe in the 2030s putting astronauts on the surface of the Mars. Well, certainly this is a very good starting point. This experiment, the Mars Oxygen In Situ experiment, and I think they've chosen a very good acronym for that, because the scientists who designed this had to be very clever, they had to be very persistent, they really had to have a lot of moxie. Moxie.